We are in the dog days of summer on the homestead, and the garden is really struggling. It doesn't matter how much I water it, it just cannot survive this heat that we've been having. This week we've been up to 103 with heat indexes above 106, which is just oppressive, especially with the humidity that we have. So the garden is really feeling the heat. A lot of the plants are struggling to survive. Some of them aren't going to make it. Some of them, if they're in the shade, have been doing okay. Like my pumpkin patch here, the ones in the shade are actually doing pretty well, you can see. So hopefully by next summer I'll be able to have some better shade structures up so we can survive the summer a little bit better. My Swiss chard has been hit especially hard, which is sad. It was doing so well. I'm gonna try to transplant some of it over into this bed here. It gets a lot more shade during the day, so hopefully it'll survive a little bit better here. I made this bed by layering some corn stalks and then just digging out a trench surrounding the corn stalks and tossing the dirt over top of that, and then adding a little bit of horse manure, and then I just put logs from around the property on the borders. Next to it I have my collard greens bed that I built recently. My seedlings are actually doing really well. They get a lot of shade right here, so it works out. I've also been collecting purslane from around the property and tucking that into the edges of my beds. Despite all of the heat, we still have had a pretty decent amount of harvest from the garden lately. We've had pumpkins and squash and a little bit of tomatoes and more pumpkins. Seriously, a lot of pumpkins. I don't even know why I planted so many. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of them. I've already made some pumpkin bread. It was pretty good, so I'll be perfecting that recipe. Some of my plants are actually doing pretty well too. My cucumbers are doing well. My moringa is doing quite well for the heat. I'm surprised at how quickly it's been growing. I started these as seeds this year and they're already about 3.5 feet tall, most of them. This one's a little bit shorter. And then in the corner I have some Malabar spinach that has been trying to make it since last year. It just isn't doing too well. There's been other signs of life in the garden too. We had this hummingbird that's been visiting us. He was taking a bath in the sprinkler the other day, and it was just the cutest thing. It's little surprises like that that make walking around the garden worth it, even in this heat. Still, I'm really looking forward to fall and everything that it's gonna bring.